Hello, everybody, and welcome to my first ever MTG Foundations draft. We're going to be going pick by pick, play by play, talking through everything so you know what to do when you draft this format yourself. I also have a draft guide made for this set where I go through top commons, archetype overviews, and all that good stuff. Okay, our rare is Consuming Aberration, which is not a card that's worth first picking. 5 mana for what essentially amounts to just a big creature, and sometimes it's not even that big depending on what your opponent is up to, because your opponent might not have a ton of cards in their graveyard when this first comes into play, though they will quickly get cards in the graveyard, but not going to start with this one. There is a Perforating Artist as a 3-drop in black-red that's pretty solid, but not too crazy, not a card I want to first pick. Tatyova Benthic Druid is really strong. If you're able to play like a ramp strategy, it plays really good with something like this Evolving Wilds, which we see at common. It is multicolored, but it's very splashable in a green deck. You play Tatyova, you have a card like Grow from the Ashes, really nice stuff there. And so it's not as much of just a straight up blue-green card, because you can definitely play it in other colors. You can just play green and then splash it. So I'm going to take that here. There's Healer's Hawk as a 1-drop, which is pretty solid. There's also Firebrand Wilds, but I think Tatyova is a pretty reasonable pick. Fishing Pole is a little hard to use. Okay, so right off the bat, we can think about whether or not we want to even continue with the Tatyova. This pack is juiced. We see Fiery Annihilation, 3 mana, deal 5, and Exile equipments attached to the creature, so that can do some extra value. And it exiles the creature. I was pretty sure it exiled the creature, and then I got confused. But yeah, this is a 3 mana, really good removal spell. There is also Burst Lightning, very efficient removal. Stab, very efficient removal. I'm trying my best to hover over the cards so you can read them, but very efficient early game removal options. This is a deal 2. This is -2/-2. Essence Scatter could keep me in blue, but I don't really want to take this over something as powerful as the Fiery Annihilation. And then there's also really good commons like Prideful Parent. This is a really nice 3-drop in white. Gets a couple bodies for 1 card. Bushwhack could go well with the Tatyova. But overall here, Fiery Annihilation, one of the reasons I was okay to take the Tatyova first is because if I play a red-green deck, I can totally splash blue for Tatyova. Or if I play a blue-green deck, I can splash red for cards like Fiery Annihilation. This is the sort of card that is in the color pair that is more prone to splashing. It's not like a black-white card that's really much more difficult to splash. Okay, so here we already have some options. Electroduplicate is not a playable rare. It's just going to end up in a spot where if you're ahead and able to use this effectively, you would probably be good if you just played like a 4-mana 4/4. And in the games where you're behind, this is really, really rough to use. Grappling Kraken is a nice top-end card for a ramp deck, though that tends not to be the break point that you really need, is the 6 drops. But it does really help you get the job done if you are in that late game spot, turns your lands into live draws. There's a Heartfire Immolator, which is a nice 2-drop in red. There's Big Fin Bouncer, which I like in blue. There's Needletooth Pack as a 5-drop, so if something died, you get to make something huge. I think this is a pretty good Heartfire Immolator pick. As a 2-mana 2/2 with Prowess, it's already pretty good. It can function as a removal spell of sorts. And we don't have to go in the Tatyova direction for greens for the Needletooth Pack, but we can follow up this Fiery Annihilation. But it's looking like blue-red might be open, which may be a spells archetype with some Prowess cards. We're seeing a couple of solid blue cards here. Both of these are nice blue commons. And a 4th pick, Drake Hatcher. That is very interesting to see. It could be that players are avoiding blue. It could have been a very strong pack. But this card is no joke. You play this on turn 2, and then your opponent is in trouble if you attack them. Because if you have a couple of instants or a combat trick or something like that, you can just start putting the counters on this. A 1/3 Vigilance Prowess, it can just keep sending in. You can attack this into your opponent's 2/2 creature. What are they going to do? Block and get blown out by a card? It's pretty strong. There's also Gorehorn Raider, which is a card that I like. This is a nice top-end card. You attack, you get to do some damage. There's also Big Fin Bouncer, Run Away Together. Isn't quite as strong, but can reset enters the battlefield effects. Drake Hatcher, I think, is the pick here. Really nice addition. And it makes you want to play like instants, especially because that can give you like those combat trick abilities. But we've seen like 3 Big Fin Bouncers in a row. So that's certainly worth noting, but Drake Hatcher is going to be the pick here. Overall, I'm really liking the direction this draft is going. Strongbox Raider, once again, a really nice addition to this deck. If you can attack, you can get some nice value, exile the top 2 cards of your library, and give you something to play the following turns. There is Thornwood Falls for if I wanted to try and splash this Tatyova, But blue-red is not the color combo that would splash Tatyova. You can kind of think of Tatyova as more of like a green card, because green, if you get like something like a Bushwhack, which can get you a basic land of your choice, or something of that nature, it's pretty easy to splash the blue part. In a blue-red deck, it's much harder to get the fixing you need to splash the green part. So you can think of it that way. Thrill of Possibility might be my pick after the Strongbox Raider. I might still just take the Thornwood Falls on the off chance of splashing Tatyova. I can probably get Thrill of Possibility type cards later. But for now, we're going to take a Strongbox Raider and be quite pleased with it. Again, we don't really have to be blue here. We have the Drake Hatcher, and blue has seemed open, but we could still just be green-red splashing blue. Garruk's Uprising is kind of hard to use. It's not my favorite card. Inspiration from Beyond is more of like a control card. It's really finicky as well, because you just so slow. Icewind Elemental's fine. Sower of Chaos. It's a little bit cheaper, but it is still like not the most ideal card. I might just take Icewind Elemental here. Reasonable top end card. I could also take Eaten Alive as a good removal spell in black. Could take Garruk's Uprising, but I think Icewind Elemental is totally fine. And now there is Battle Song Berserker. There is Klingquant Sky Mage. Bite Down. So maybe some late green coming around. I think Battlesong Berserker is pretty good, but not really that good in blue-red, where you might not have the most aggressive of starts. It does play well with Drake Hatcher, giving it menace. What are the odds that I abandon blue, play green? If I'm getting a 7th pick Bite Down, it could definitely happen. So I'm just going to take the Bite Down on a speculative pick. And then we can take Sure Strike. This card plays well with my cards like Drake Hatcher, where they really want to block it. Plays well with Strongbox Raider, enables attacks. Mocking Sprite's not my favorite. Interesting. There's a Rugged Highlands and a Mocking Sprite. I don't think I'm ever going to miss Mocking Sprite. Rugged Highlands over Grow from Ashes. There is still a chance I abandon blue. I have 1, 2, 3 blue cards. Especially in pack 2 if I get something really good. I think I'll just take the land here. I don't think I'm going to really need to prioritize the Mocking Sprites. And now there's a Prowler. There's also Light Shell Duo. I'm happy to take a Light Shell Duo, or relatively happy. It's got that prowess mechanic. And the more prowess cards you have, the more you can build around it to some degree. I'm not the biggest fan of Pilfer in draft. It's a terrible top deck when both players are empty-handed. And in the early turns, it like contributes to you falling behind because you're not actually affecting the board state. Okay, so we will take Uncharted Voyage over the Grappling Kraken in a deck that's playing not as much ramp, not as many cards that can search for lands. This card is a okay card, but nothing crazy. And Uncharted Voyage, this sort of card just plays out better than it looks. It doesn't always feel the most satisfying to play, but it has a real impact on the game. I'll take the Klingquant over the Juggernaut, I think. If I get enough cantripping cards, this thing could actually do some work. Okay, I'll take... I'm never going to play Gleaming Barrier. Okay, pack 2. So just quick reflection after pack 1. We are most likely going to be playing blue-red, but we did have some options into green. It just seems like blue and red. I mean, maybe even red wasn't the most open. But we have enough good red cards that it won't matter. Here, kind of a dicey pick. The Loot is a good card, but I think going into green here is a little bit suboptimal. Elementalist Adept is not the most fun card to take first. It's like okay, and I might need 2 drops. Needletooth Pack is pretty good. Red was not actually that open, but I'm kind of in a spot where I think just taking the good blue-red cards could be good. Flash Prowess isn't my ideal first pick, but this card's not that great. 6 mana is really expensive for the front half of that card. Okay, now we can get Balmore. There's also Flamewake Phoenix, which is really good. Just always attacks, does a bunch of damage. I'm never going to wheel Balmore. I'm not going to really have creatures to bring this back, though. Power 4 or greater. I guess I have this guy. Beginning of combat. I could get Light Shell Duo up there. Klinkquant could get up there. Gosh, Balmore seems really good for this deck. My creature count is pretty low. I really want to get Thrill of Possibility. I think Balmore is going to do more damage in this deck. I am hosing myself by passing a red card, though. I'm just going to take the Phoenix. It's going to do more on its own. I'll take Fey Bloom Trick now. This card is perfect. I immediately regret passing Balmore, but it's so tricky in those spots because if I pass Flamewick Phoenix, the person next to me could just easily take that, and then I get nothing in pack 3. It's not always good to think about signals like that, but considering red was kind of cut in pack 1, I am going to think about it here. And Flamewick Phoenix is a good standalone card. A lot of my deck is going to be synergy driven, like getting Drake Hatcher plus a bunch of spells, or trying to combo off with my prowess creatures, and so Balmore kind of plays more into that, and this is just a good standalone card. Fey Bloom Trick is really just a great card in any deck, though. I'm not sure about that pick, though. I also don't have tons of instants in Sword. I have 5 instants. One of them is Broken Wings. 2 of them are green, so I'm not even really going that hard in that direction. Okay, so this pack is good for me. Time stop, end of the turn. So something you can do with this, you can use this as like a counter spell of sorts. Your opponent goes for a spell, you end the turn, it counters the spell while it's on the stack. You can also use this on their upkeep to just get another turn. They don't even draw a card. I could also just get Thrill of Possibility. Fleeting Distraction's really good in this sort of deck. I kind of want to try the Time Stop just to see how it does. Get some reps in with the weird cards. Though I have played with this sort of effect before. I think it can do some good work. Yes, we got a Balmore. I would love to take Burst Lightning. I would love Think Twice. Getting a 5th pick Balmore is pretty good for us, though. This card's great. And I actually feel a little bit better about taking the Phoenix now because Balmore is legendary, which isn't the like end-all be-all, but it can come up. Here we're going to take Swiftwater Cliffs. Every land we get makes it more likely we can splash Tatyova, which isn't like a huge priority for me. But if we just end up with like 3 or 4 free lands, it's going to be good. And this was also just good in a 2-color deck. Oh, Shivan Dragon. I might take it here. There's Axe Guard Cavalry, which doesn't really do much for me. Get in there, buddy. Welcome to the team. This card's so good. I'm just going to take this on the off chance I can splash it. Okay, Goblin Surprise. Creates creatures while also being a spell to trigger my stuff. It's pretty good. You draw your second card, put a counter on this. I don't think I need Axe Guard. I don't really need Self-Reflection. I could take this just on the hope that I get some Thrill of Possibilities. I think I'll do that. I don't really want this guy. Even though I kind of want those sorts of card draw effects. Micromancer or Witness Protection. I'm going to take the Micromancer in case I can get some cantrips. Late Felidar Savior. I'll take the Involuntary Employment. Beautiful. We get Fleeting Distraction. We already have 1 Uncharted Voyage. I would play a second. I think the card's going to play out better, as I said. I think getting it 3rd from last pick is kind of like a nice upside of this deck, but I think Fleeting Distraction as my first 1-drop for Micromancer is important. Wow, green is pretty open here. Last pick Healer's Hawk. What is happening? Well, these cards are both good. So Draco Seth ends the game if you untap with it. I am wishing now that I had taken the 2-drop that gives haste. Seer Slicer Goblin is also pretty good and plays well with attacking and making tokens and plays well with Balmore. So do I want to lean more in the control direction or more in the aggro direction? I think I'm just going to go more tokeny aggro. That's a lie. I'm going to go the more control route. I think I can pull it off. Boom. This is a great card to pick up as well. There's also this guy. This card's also insane. I don't know which one's better, honestly. This pack is crazy for me. If I could just take this whole pack and end my draft, I would end up with this card, and I could play the Big Fin. I mean, those are 3 great cards. So Archmage makes all my stuff cheaper and draws me a bunch of cards. And then Sphinx is just letting me recast spells, so it also kind of draws me cards in a way. My instants and sorcery count, I have 7 instants, 2 sorceries, but one of them is green. Oh, man. I'm just going to go with the cheaper guy. It's so tricky, though. I don't know which one's better, honestly. Skyship Buccaneer is pretty reasonable. Nice little cantripping creature. I wouldn't mind the Evolving Wilds. I would be able to splash green, probably, if I took it. But I don't even know if I need to splash green, and triple red's kind of a requirement. Okay, there's Spectral Sailor. Nice for this kind of controlling game. Burnished Heart is pretty good ramp. If I want to play Drakaseth. I just don't think it's feasible, really. Oh, gosh. This draft has been tricky. There's been some tough picks. The Drakaseth pick was really tricky. The Sphinx of Forgotten Lore pick was really tricky. I think that one could definitely come back to haunt me. Part of the benefit of this is you can get value from it if you don't have as many things going on. You only need to untap for it to work. Jeez Louise, this card is so good. This card is supposedly good for my deck, but I don't really love it. I'll take Runaway Together. I have some good ETBs. I think I'm playing the Clinkwant. This is a nice addition. Another flyer, another draw card. I'll take the Cavalry now. There's also the Ink Mage. Surveil 3 is no joke. But I'm going to take this guy because that plus Drakaseth just wins you the game. And now we'll get this. Ooh. Nope. Yeah, I'll just take the Gorehorn. So this is kind of coming together. I don't think Witness Protection is very good. Big Fin Bouncer. Definitely a card I'm happy with. Strix Lookout. I'll try it. Gorehorn Raider or the 2-mana guy. I don't love the 2-mana guy, actually. I'll take the Gorehorn. So we're not going to splash. Ooh, Light Shell Duo. Nice. So this deck ended up interesting. I'm actually pretty happy with the Flamewake Phoenix pick here at the end. Gosh, this was a tricky draft. Okay. I did kind of lean more control. So I'm going to cut this land. I'm going to cut the 4. I'm not going to cut my green cards. Then I'm just going to cut the bad cards. So Fleeting Distraction is good, but Micromancer with 1 target is bad. Because you draw your target and then you're just playing a Hill Giant. I don't have enough card draw for the Clinkwant. So I have 1, 2, 3. Got a good number of 4 drops. Good number of 5 drops. I'm going to play an 18th land in this deck, I think. I don't think I'm going to play Self-Reflection because I didn't get discard outlets for it. Sure Strike can maybe head to the sidelines. Runaway Together is a bit slow and clunky for this deck. Don't think I need Goblin Surprise, really. I'm going to cut Icewind Elemental because I do have 7 drops, so I don't really want to be looting. And I have these guys, which are better. I I can probably cut Axe Guard Cavalry. I can almost certainly cut the Elemental Adept. I don't think that card's great. Axe Guard, I think I'll just rely on casting Dracoseth and having it live versus assembling a very specific 2-card combo. Then maybe I just need more 2-drops to trade anyway in the early turns. Yeah, I'll just play that as like a utility card. Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2-drops now. That's just enough. Goblin Surprise, not really where I want to be. I feel like I'm gonna be able to hit land drops thanks to these surveillings and things. And recast my removal spells. I don't have a lot of removal. I think Strix Lookout is good because it enables my raid pretty well. So that's kind of what I like about that. Okay. And then I kind of want to just cut Goblin Surprise. So I will. Okay, it's an interesting build. Not a ton of instants and sorceries for the way this is ending up, but we'll see how it does. Let's make Dracoseth the art, and I'll see you folks in the games. Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to the patrons who support my channel at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. If you have been enjoying my videos and would like to help the channel grow and thrive while also gaining access to bonus resources like my card by card tier list and my format thoughts document, then Patreon is the place to go. It really does help out the channel. I want to give a huge shout out and special shout out to those patrons who support at the credits level. It really does make a big difference. And without further ado, let's get to the games. Welcome to round 1. This is a pretty clear mulligan with no blue sources, and we need a lot more lands to function. This one I will keep, though. This one I'll keep. Draycatcher, looking okay. I'm going to get rid of the Phoenix. I need to draw lands. This might be an 18 land deck, honestly, but because I have some cantripping effects, some card draw. Wow, they're burst lightning that. They're not even waiting to see what my 2-drop is. Okay. Okay. So I need to draw a land here. That was a huge draw. That's game changing right there. Okay. I'll just play my flyer out, get that extra pressure in. Jeez. Well, they are not really doing a lot here. So you could say, oh, why not play the cavalry? Here, I'm just going to hold up Uncharted Voyage. If they cast nothing on their turn, it's okay for me. But here I can just use my Uncharted Voyage on the Balmor, use my mana way more efficiently. So I have them at 18. Just try to use this as a kill spell of sorts. was hoping to draw action, but obviously drawing 2 lands in a row there would have been kind of disastrous. If they have a board wipe here, so be it. I'm not going to play around it. So this is where... Oh, no. Is this just creatures? Nope. It's Burst Lightning. Of course it is. Gosh darn it. It's really unfortunate. Neither of these helps me. Yeah, that's probably game. What could I have done differently to win this one? I mean, they just didn't play anything. They just played Fleeting Distraction on my guy. I didn't have a ton of pressure. They played 2 mythic rare into rare, and I just didn't have another interaction spell. Yeah, that's a problem. Oh, man. That's unfortunate. The Fleeting Distractions to shut me down in the early turns was really annoying. Oh, well. Welcome to another round. We'll keep this. This should be interesting. That last game, I also could have not used my Uncharted Voyage on their Balmor and saved it for something bigger, which I'm now thinking might have been the correct play, because Balmor wasn't doing a ton there. It's just I wanted to use my mana, but I wasn't really choked on mana. So if I just play my Axe Guard guy, it's not going to be a huge factor. This way I get to block the Valkyrie for a turn. Okay. I'm going to set myself up here with the Light Shell duo first. Drakoseth isn't going to happen for a while. Sailor's going to be good, though, I think. Because next turn I can go Sailor and Feybloom Trick. And then Balmor into Fleeting Distraction, buff up the whole team. Clinkquant, okay. I'll have a wide board state for the Balmor. Oh, this is perfect for me. I think this is what the deck is trying to do. Play Balmor with a big board state. And gain Trample. They don't even need to see the Fleeting Distraction. Okay, that worked out really well. Let's see if we have any cards that we drafted that didn't see play that we can then maybe determine whether or not we want based on how the deck played out that game. I will say the Drakoseth card might not be the perfect fit for this deck. What has seemed weak? Fleeting Distraction has seemed quite good, actually. The Gorehorn Raider, I think, is a necessary evil, considering the way my deck is designed. So we're just going to play it again like this, and I'll see you folks next round. Welcome to another round. We'll keep this. Dracoseth is worse than the other card would have been in this spot. Always good to check in on that. The thing with Dracoseth is it requires a control game plan, which I thought my deck could do, but I really don't have the early interaction to really support that. It's just how it goes sometimes. It's tricky to know at the time whether you want to go late game or early game. And if you have a card like Dracoseth, you really can go late game, but it also can die if you just play. You need to untap with it, but it says if I untap with this, I win. So that is inherently pretty powerful. We are going to do this. If they had a combat trick, they probably would have attacked to try and get me on combat. I'm liking the Light Shell duo. This guy's going to do some work. Ooh, that's a huge draw, actually. They are going to get to Surveil again. I'm just going to try to get as much pressure on the board as possible, set them behind. They don't have a huge board state. This card's best on the play in this exact situation. You got to maximize your cards. Okay. So if I draw a land off this fleeting, it's going to be really good. Oh my gosh, what a rip. Okay, Sphinx of Forgotten Lore. Or a land. Yeah, I gotta take the Sphinx. The land gets me closer to Dracoseth, but I'm not gonna win this game before Dracoseth comes down. Sphinx is performing, I think, better than the other guy would have in this particular game. The 2-1 that makes 1-1s would have been really good in this deck. The raid guy with Flamewake Phoenix, a couple of little flyers to chip in. I think Dracoseth is kind of going to be a liability. That's why you do the draft, so you can kind of see the cards in action. Perfect to draw land anyway. Are they dead on board? I kill this. Kill this, and they take 5, 8, 10. For single blue, they could have... -1, -0. Always look for lethal. Okay, that was pretty straightforward victory. Nice to have a nice little win streak going. I'll see you folks next round. Welcome to another round. We'll keep this. One thing about the Sphinx that's underrated, or could be underrated, is the fact that it can just eat creatures in combat thanks to Flash. Another blue-red deck. Perfect. We hit a mountain. I'll run this out into whatever removal they've got, or counterspell, or whatever. With as many -1, -0s around and around as there have been, and Thrill of Possibility and all that stuff, I'm not blocking here. I will use a defensive Sure Strike here, I think. So this forced them to blink first to some degree. Okay, I'm just gonna try to race them here. They only used 1 mana that turn. They're not really developing their board. They just have this one guy going. Unfortunate. That's how it goes, though. Drake Hatcher. Oh, no. That's problematic. This guy is doing serious work. They have drawn a card every turn to trigger this. I can always jump block next turn when it's actually going to be a bigger threat. Perfect. Just what the doctor ordered. It's a little bit late for it, but that's better late than never, as I like to say. Pretty sure I coined that saying. So I can go block, block, shrink their guy. Hopefully they don't make an 8/8 that I have to bounce. Ooh, less. They're just putting me in a forced to jump block situation. Oh, that's so rough. Would have loved to do that the other way, but it's okay. Next turn I can go Balmor this and win the game. Just has to survive a haste attacker. Okay, this card is actually great. Every time this card's been played, it's been pretty good in this draft so far. It might just be good in blue-red, but it's quite good in blue-red, I think. Early hot take here. But I think we're going to get there. I've also been very happy every time I've drawn Uncharted Voyage. Like, every time. They're stuck on blue mana. It's been kind of hosing them. Also, the fact that they drew the Burst Lightning off of the Think Twice is not great for them. Okay. So, this guy into this on their unblockable dude. And they're dead. Yes! Oh, the winning continues! The winning shall continue until morale improves. Because trample, so they can't stop it. Even if they could block this guy and stop trample, they'd still lose. Yes! Oh my gosh. Balmor is a little bit of a flurry at the end. Has been quite nice. The last play, Balmor plus spell, buff my whole team. Huge. See you folks next round. Welcome to another round. We have the combo. It's just about whether we'll live long enough to use it. And that's probably not going to let us use the combo. Uh-oh. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to play this guy first, and then we're going to play the cavalry second to try to use Fleeting Distraction to combo with it. Uh-oh. Okay. And the thing is this Hungry Ghoul... We can double block it now. This is a bit of a combo. Sure. Sure. Okay, I need a bounce spell for this guy. Okay, hoping for lands. It's actually okay. This Hungry Ghoul is doing some serious work. They should have sacked it on second main. Oh my gosh, Hungry Ghoul. Spare me, my friend. Can I afford to play Gorehorn so I can have 1, 4, 8 power toughness to block this thing? And I can get up to be an 8/8. Sure. Okay. They're going to try to get me with their flyers. I have Time Stop into Drakaseth. If I can draw a couple lands. And they have a kill spell? Oh my gosh. Okay, never mind. We're good. Oh, yes. Well, now we hope. If they have no kill spell, we win. Which they probably have a kill spell because they haven't cast one yet this game. If they bake Drekaseth into a pie, so be it. Or bounce him. Unfortunately, I was not able to preserve this Axe Guard Cavalry. The extra turn was not that impressive, but it was kind of cool. What card could they have? +2/+0. I don't think there's a card that kills a damaged creature. So if they don't block, they're dead. So there's where the power of Drakaseth shines through. What did they have in their hand? They didn't have a kill spell for it? Honestly, this game was kind of insane. Oh, no. Oh, no! No! Oh, no! Come on, fleeting distraction. Oh, man. Just keep my life total as high as possible. Okay, we got him. I was worried they were going to have the 4 mana card that drained me for 2. Oh, no, we don't got him. Shucks. Never mind, I'm the greatest. I'm so lucky. What a draw off the top. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Oh, that was actually terrible. I should have not blocked. I did have fun in the match. I should have gone to 1. Because all the cards that kill me still kill me. +2/+0 combat trick kills me. Drain for 2 kills me. I don't think there's a single card that just pings. I just got lucky that I got bailed out by my great top deck. But I don't think there's a card they could have had that just gives +1 damage. That's just an unfamiliar with the set still a little bit. But there's +2/+0 combat trick. There is +2/+0 combat trick. There's the 4 mana guy that can deal 2 to me, but I lived at 2, so it didn't matter. Like, and I also had enough mana that I could use this to save me 1 point of damage later from their cat if their cat was going to try and kill me. Yeah, that was bad. I should have definitely thought about this card. I luckily got bailed out, but that was like still a really bad play. That could have it would have lost me the game if I didn't top deck. Yeah, that was really bad. Like if I keep this card around, I can still try to draw for another Gorehorn Raider to kill this thing, but yeah. Well, we got the win, but not proud of the last way that ended at the end. But yeah. Yeah, I should have played that differently. Should have just taken it gone to 1. Oh well. I guess drawing a card also has some merits. But yeah, because it could be anything. But saving 1 damage is not worth it there because I would still live at 1. Okay, well, see you folks next game. Welcome to another round. We will keep this hand. I think last game definitely a little bit dicey, but we're going to bounce back this game. It's all about realizing that it's early in the format, so you have time to like get those optimizations in. Also, Drakaseth clearly won me that last game. Very few, I mean, yeah, very few cards could have done that. They have nothing. They don't even have a stab. Interesting. So what does that mean they probably have? They probably have a few kill spells here. They don't have a 2-drop. Okay, that's going to be really good for me because Uncharted Voyage does great against that. I've been really happy with the Flame Lake Phoenix. My mana has been cooperating. I've been able to cast all my spells whenever I want. Double red has been huge. We saw that one game where my opponent got stuck on blue, and that really helped me. So they probably have a bake into a pie. Mystic, sure. Maybe they have Think twice. Yep. Would I rather kill the token or kill... I'm going to kill the wizard for now. I don't have to worry about attacking with the sailor for now. I'd rather just set them back in tempo. They can make another 1/1 if they desire. Okay, they're keeping up double blue. Okay, so this attack tells me they have Fleeting Distraction. They probably have 2 if they're holding up mana like this. And they're probably going to cast 1 here so they can trigger their guys easily. Yep. Witness protection, sure. I should have done this on my upkeep so I knew what I was going to draw. I still think it's worth doing this. I put it on the bottom. I will keep a land. At this point, I don't think this guy's doing much here. They can trade and take 6. That makes this guy lethal next turn. Combined with this. So I'm probably going to just use it for value. Yeah, because they would just jump it and take 3. Could not have worked out better for me here. So this thing triggers at the beginning of combat, right? I'm going to have a creature with power 4 or greater. Now I have a lethal threat in addition to that. Perfect. Now they have to kill the Strongbox Raider. Whip Pro, okay. I just like shortening the name. And I've got my cavalry going. I already have the lands I need. I'm going to get the Gorehorn Raider here. They could have a bacon to a pie. Nope, I'd rather draw the Gorehorn. I'm actually just going to play Dracoseth this next turn. Okay, my deck is performing. I mean, I lost that first game, and since then, my deck has been cruising. The combo, nice. We're going to do it. Okay, I choked. I should have done it the other way. The other way was so much safer. I like guaranteed win the other way. I just wanted to Dracoseth them. If I was in the Pro Tour, I would have gone the other one, just for the record. Because it's so much harder to stop. Because if they have Bacon to a Pie, which is the card I was most thinking of, or really any kill spell, which they ended up having, if I just attack them and then play this guy to deal 2 to them to finish them off, I win. If they have Bacon to a Pie, they can kill the Dracoseth and get a food, but the food won't matter because they don't have the mana to crack it. So doing the Gorehorn Raider was the more safe way to win, but I just wanted to play the Dracoseth. But anyway, just so everyone knew that what the correct line was. Anyway, see you folks next round. Welcome to another great hand. We're going to keep this on the draw and hope to draw some lands. Step 1 complete. The Heartfire Immolator plus the Fleeting Distraction gives me so much flexibility. I can use this as a kill spell. I can use this as a way to... Oh, no. Well, that could be dicey. Uh-oh. I have bounce. I've drawn a couple lands, which is nice. Okay. I think I have to kill this now, right? Or maybe I was just supposed to kill the cat collector, honestly. That's tough. Sphinx is going to be nice, though. It'll enable the Gorehorn Raider. Gosh, it is smart. I do like that call of playing the gain lands in your black-white deck. This is where I have to hope to draw a land so that my Gorehorn can come down. Oh gosh, I can never win. This card is such an absolute beating. This game is so over. I'm taking infinite damage. This card is so good. It's so much better than it looks. It looks so simple. Their deck is insane. They've only played bangers. Have they played a single common? No, they played rare, uncommon, 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 rare. I guess they played the gain lands, which were commons technically. Have I played a single common? Yes, I played a common. Common. I've played a couple commons. I mean, geez Louise. I guess they have played a common now. Not that it was relevant at this point of the game. Yeah, we're never winning that game. Their deck is insane. Yeah, that was not even close to close. Their deck was sick. See you folks next round. Welcome to another round on the draw. We'll keep this hand very happily. Drake Hatcher is going to do some work, I suspect. Okay, black-white. This just puts some pressure on them not to attack me with the commando. These guys could do some good work against the commando. They attack me, I play this, tap one of their guys. Okay. Gutless Plunderer definitely does some work here. I have to get 3 of them on it. That might never happen. Just trying to block this Cathar commando. This guy actually kills this guy really effectively. I can take 2 for a little bit. I see, I see. Sure. Incubation counter. Oh, come off it, mate. Oh, this could actually work out really well for me. Okay. If they didn't have the gain land, this would have been totally fine. Unfortunately, it's going to end badly now. Gosh. If I attack with the lookout and they block, it's so bad for me. What are the odds they block? Not that high, right? Yep. Which would I rather have? Gotta be Immolator, right? I can block this guy. Okay, if they have another stab, I lose. Oh my gosh, really? Ironically, if I had drawn an island, I actually would have been fine off of my Shrinky guy. Because if I draw an island, instead of having to play this guy, I could have played the Skyship Buccaneer, which would have given me a third flyer. So I guess I was talking about how my mana hadn't really gotten me until hadn't really gotten me yet, and this time it actually did get me a little. If I'd had one extra island, I would have been able to play this guy too. I had to play this guy so I could try to get my game plan advanced, and I wouldn't have been able to make an extra flyer anyway. Maybe I'm supposed to just attack, play this guy. I have my 1/2 flyer and this guy. I'm still dead to the Stroke of Midnight stab combo. But if I had drawn the island, which I was hoping for, because that's my best case scenario. When you're in the spots where you're kind of on the back to the wall, sometimes you just have to go for your best case scenario. Like if I rip island, I play this guy, all of a sudden I have 3 flyers against their guys. I can block this guy. They stab 1 to this. I chump block this guy. Go to 1. I'm still dead, I think. Because they would have still killed 2 of my flyers. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. That Banisher of Light guy was really good. Even with just a gain land. I killed their Healer's Hawk. But yeah. 5 and 2. Not bad at all for the first draft of the format. I mean, there was some crazy stuff happening. I think the Flamewake Phoenix pick ended up working out. Let's start with that. Next close pick was the Sphinx of Forgotten Lore. Also, I think kind of worked out. The other guy was really good, but my deck doesn't have that many instants, and it only has 6. Probably a flaw in the deck design, honestly. I wish I had more good instants to play, but I just didn't really see them at times I wanted to play them. I would have probably played this if I had the other guy, though. The time stop ended up being okay that one game when I played it into the Dracoseth and managed to win out of nowhere, which was awesome. And yeah, the raid cards were all really good with all my little flyers. So these guys really performed. These guys were pretty solid. This guy performed great. So these raid cards really relied on it. Big Fin Bouncer was incredible. Really, really good against those guys that grew with +1/+1 counters. The Heartfire Immolator. The Axguard Cavalry was great with the Dracoseth that one game. That was kind of what we wanted. Drake Hatcher was solid. Fleeting Distraction was great whenever we drew it. We really liked that card. And then Spectral Sailor didn't really do a ton. Light Shell Duo, just rock solid. And I really liked the Uncharted Voyage, honestly. I think it played out pretty well. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this MTG Foundations draft. If you did enjoy it, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe for more, and comment with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. Let me know if you want to see more MTG Foundations draft videos. And to let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video, leave hashtag #FlameOn, because we had the Draco Seth Maw of Flames and the Flamewake Phoenix, and this deck was really awesome. And also, Flame On is a pretty cool catchphrase from the Fantastic Four. But that is going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you next time.